You're good to go.
All right. Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Central Valley Board of Trustees work session. Can we please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Colleen, can you do roll call, please?
Here.
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 Mr. O'Neill,
Here.
Dr. Ross,
Here.
Mr. Zerns,
Here.
Mr. Ramos.
Here. Okay. Number 3. Public comments on agenda items only.
Nothing?
Thank you very
I
much.
guess we'll hold off on the decorum thing.
Okay. Item 4. Minutes to approve the voting session minutes from February 16, 2023. Treasurer's report, Mr. King.
Following bills and reports are submitted for approval. Number 1, confirm the February 2023 general fund payments in the amount of $1,376,602.51. 2, confirm the February 2023 cafeteria fund payments in the amount of $75,730.46. 3, confirm the February 2023 construction fund payments in the amount of $670,215.55. Report to approve the February 2023 Berkheimer report.
Okay, thank you, Mr. King. Agenda items, board policy. We have nothing at this time. Negotiations, Mr. O'Neill.
We have nothing at this time, but I'd like to ask Dr. Perry if he could set up a meeting probably the middle of April so that you can get me up to speed on where you are.
Yeah, I'll probably give you a call next week and I'll bring you up to speed and then we'll go from there.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks, Mr. O'Neill. Enjoy the sun. Item C, education items. Mr. Ross, chairperson.
Number 1, to approve, confirm the release time, staff development requests. The conference is listed on the left. The individual that will attend is in the middle, and the date that the individual will be going is on the right. That is it, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? All right. Item D, technology. Mr. Moat, our chairperson.
Nothing at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Miller, anything? Okay. Athletics, Mr. King is our chairperson.
Number 1, to approve the following spring coaching positions and stipends pending receipt, review and acceptance of all clearances. Assistant varsity, volunteer assistant, assistant JV coach, and volunteer assistant. The stipends are on the right column and people are to be determined.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. King. Anything else? Okay, moving on. Item F, extracurricular activities. Ms. Belcastro, our chairperson.
Thank you. It's just an FYI, in the chart, you see the field trips, the destinations on the left. The group is in the middle and on to the right is the date that they will be attending.
Okay, thank you. Item G, building and grounds. Mr. Zaritsky, our chairperson.
All right, I think before we get started, we'll turn over to Mr. Rawson for an update.
Okay.
Yes.
Please.
Evening. So the update construction notes since the last board meeting are all split face block is complete. All the nice pretty veneer on the outside of the building is 90% done. There are some interior classroom separation walls that will be completed, but we have to pour the floor first because they go on slab. We were supposed to pour concrete today. We had to cancel the pour because we didn't get our propane for temporary heat. And the building was 28 degrees this morning, so it's too cold. So we will now pour on Friday and Tuesday. So by Wednesday of next week, all the concrete floor will be done. Plumbing roof drains have been installed and the ceiling roughing is in progress. Electrical roughing walls is complete. Under slab conduits are complete. We have to be complete today for the concrete, so we're actually ahead of the game. Roof, steel clips and brackets for under roof will be completed next week. Roof was finished today. The other thing we have left is there's a flashing detail where the membrane comes up over the parapet walls. There's a flashing on the outside of that, and that will happen. Material should be in the end of this week, beginning of next week, and it'll be about 1 week journey. Design engineering is complete for the sprinkler updates and materials have been ordered. Windows will be delivered next week. We won't put them in, but they'll be delivered next week. All temporary wooden frames for weather protection are 80% complete. Propane did get delivered today, so we tested the heaters. So we will start running heaters tomorrow morning. We will run them constantly until we've finished the pour. And then we probably won't run them at night because we don't need to. The building doesn't need to be that hot. Once we get it dried out and the concrete, the flooring done, then we can just run them during the day when we put people in there. HVAC roof mounts are in place. The units are being stored off-site because the project is still pretty sloppy. There's a lot of mud around. They've got to bring a large crane in to set those roof units. So when the site dries out a little bit, we're telling them come back in a month. There's no hurry to put those units up on the roof. It would just be a mess at the moment. So we're just going to hold off and we'll tell them when to bring them. The courtyard, we had the dirt contractor back last week. He came in and graded all that courtyard area. So we're actually ready for landscaping there, but obviously, we won't do that until we're much further down the road. And that's it. Unless anybody has any questions.
Just a question. Same question I ask you every meeting. Timeline, we okay?
We're 6 months behind. We got 2 weeks back on the roof, which I knew that we would get when it went extremely well.
Sure.
So we are bang on schedule.
There'd be very little setbacks other than maybe
We don't
material.
say that.
Other than maybe material,
We don't
But-
say that.
but basically we should be okay.
Murphy's always on the payroll.
We're on the roof. Thank you. Thank you for that report.
Nick, with that update, when do you feel is a good time for the Building and Grounds Committee to meet?
I'd say probably after next month.
Okay.
You're on my list.
All right, perfect. All right, with that, we just have one item. We're looking to approve and confirm the following building usage request, and the chart listed below. That's all we have on Building and Grounds.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Zaritsky. Moving on to personnel items. Mr. Bloom is our chairperson.
We'll be looking to approve the resignation of Clint Weltner, custodian, effective March 10th, 2023. Number 2, to approve an FMLA request for a cafeteria worker from April 24th, 2023 through June 2nd, 2023. Number 3, to approve additions to the 2022-2023 substitute list pending receipt, review, and acceptance of all clearances. Anything else, Dr. Perry?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bloom. Moving over to finance items. Item I, Mr. Senzo, our chairperson.
To approve the adoption of resolution 2023-07, the 2023-2024 Beaver Valley Intermediate Unit General Operating Budget, which totals $1,608,913.
Thank you. Anything else under finance?
No, we should be setting up a meeting, right?
Okay.
Get to that at the end.
Yeah,
That'll be fine. Okay.
no, I'm gonna
You'll
be
be
away. I'm gonna be away. I won't be back to the 20th.
Well, Tom also isn't available, so,
Okay, all right,
Before we leave tonight, I'm gonna set up some dates.
okay,
okay,
all right,
thanks.
thank you.
Mhm.
All right, let's open it up for public comment.
No, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Superintendent, I have nothing. Nothing? Okay. Before I go into board members' comments, I'd like to open it up with our administration here. When you do give a report on your building, can you come to the podium because it makes it a lot easier for the people that are online to hear better. They're missing some dialogue sometimes. So reaching out, let me start with you, Mr. Vakovican.
Crazy to tackle this.
Very good.
Just a few items. Just want to congratulate our musical production that we put on, Godspell, Miss Stamp, and all of her staff and the students. Did a tremendous job on the musical. Also, we had a lot going on last week. We had National Honor Society inductions were last week, which went very well. And we had a very successful career day this past Friday. The staff did a great job. Our guidance office did a great job. And we had some really interesting speakers. Over 50 speakers came in and spoke to our kids and rotated 4 rotations around the building. So that was great. Just some upcoming events. We'll start our Keystone Prep next week because that test will be coming up in the middle of May. And our band trip is on the 16th to Chicago, and our softball team goes to Myrtle Beach on the 29th.
Okay.
That's it. Thanks.
Just one comment, Mr. McCreary. It was really great to see the amount of participants at the play and involved in the play. In fact, the including of maybe the middle school kids and maybe
That's the middle school kids, yes.
in some chorus items and things like that. Great experience for them moving on. So it was a win-win situation all the way around. Okay. Who's next up? Casey or, okay.
Our entire middle school got to see a preview of the musical Godspell last week. They were very excited to see that preview. And as you said, several middle school students got to be involved during the actual performance. That's really great to grow the arts program, whether it be from the middle school all the way down, all the way up to the high school. So we were excited about that. We have several students participating in Math 24 competition tomorrow. So they've been preparing for that. Our algebra students will be taking their CDTs next week, which is a preparation test as they move towards the Keystone in May. Our student council has been actively fundraising Coins for Critters, which benefits the Humane Society. They put together a little video that they shared with the school about what the Humane Society does, how these donations help. It runs entirely on donations. And they're doing like a homeroom competition. So that's been going well. And we're just continuing to prepare for PSSAs and our spring events.
Okay. Thank you very much. Spark?
Good evening. We have one of our two bocce teams participating in the regional championships tomorrow, which will be held at Geneva College, beginning at 11:30 a.m. If the team makes it to the final round, they have the opportunity to advance to the state playoffs, which will be in Hershey, Pennsylvania, taking place March 22nd and 23rd during the basketball playoff window, which will be very exciting. Pull it out. We also have students who participate in the annual countywide Special Olympics track and field event. That's going to be held on April 21st, and the students are starting to get ready to practice and establish their trial times for that event. That's also held at Geneva College. And today we started the process of registering 16 students to participate in the National Academic Games competition, which will take place in Orlando, Florida. That'll be in April. And we also had 3 elementary students in addition to those 16 who aren't able to attend. So very good representation of Central Valley at that national event.
Great. Sounds like you had a lot of things going on. Sonovich, tell us what's going on at Center Grange.
So on February the 22nd, we had our last groove into the music, which the first graders enjoyed immensely. They were really excited, moving around and jumping around. We have kindergarten registration coming up, and last week we had our parent meeting for the parents to come and hear what we do and learn about the kindergarten program. We had a really big group. There were a lot of parents that did come. It was nice to see the room full. And the parents had a lot of questions, so it was really nice to see them. We had the high school students did come to preview the musical Godspell last week for us, and the kids absolutely loved it. So they really had a good time watching and getting involved too. So they were singing with the students as well. We had our annual Title I meeting this week as well, which it was nice to see a lot of parents come. We usually only have like 2 or 3 that come. This year we had over 25 that came and filled the library, and they got to take home resources and activities to do with their students at home to help them and support them. And we did celebrate Dr. Seuss with Dr. Perry. He came and read Green Eggs and Ham, and we got to eat green eggs and ham with first grade. So we celebrated his birthday this week. And we're prepping for kindergarten registration, which happens next week on the 14th through the 16th.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, we have a lot, and we have 122 parents signed up already.
Oh,
So that's normally not that big of a group. So
interesting. Okay,
We're excited.
thank you. Ms. Fargotti?
Right, it's a little slow. So last Wednesday, we started our Warrior Wednesday groups. This past Friday, we had Nick Courage. He's an author. He came and visited our students. And today and yesterday, I did an attendance ceremony. We are kicking off kind of like an attendance at the incentives at the end of the school year, just to kind of incentivize kids at the end of the year, kind of get to school and make sure that we're ending the year strong. And then we're also prepping for our PSSA test. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. O'Crone, tell us about the spring athletics.
Okay. This past Monday, March 6th, was the first official day for spring sports. So baseball, softball, boys tennis, and boys and girls track and field are underway. In the sport of wrestling, they will finish up this weekend in Hershey. We were fortunate enough to have 2 wrestlers who moved on to the state finals. They will be competing Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Freshman Antonio Bonnie finished in first place at the WPIAL individual finals and then placed 3rd at regionals. Junior Brennan Morgan placed first at WPIALs, and he finished first in regionals. He became the first wrestler in Central Valley history to get first place at regionals. So great accomplishment for both boys. They fared well, and I believe they'll fare well here in the States as well.
They're both back next year, so.
Yes,
Okay.
one's a freshman, one's a junior. In swimming, we have 2 athletes who will be heading to Bucknell University for states next week. Senior Colton Super, he finished 6th in diving championships at the WPIAL, and junior Mia Spinelli, she finished 10th in the breaststroke, and both will be going next week to Bucknell to compete at the state competition. That's it.
It's great.
Sam, while you're up there, question, with all our athletics, every sport that we have, do you, whenever the year's coming up, the season, do you send letters home to the parents and kids, or does the coach take care of that?
As far as
Anything, any kind of communication about when practice starts,
that all comes from the coach.
the coach does that?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't formulate any letters, the coach formulates them? Every coach?
Yeah.
Nothing comes from our administration?
You just have the dates, the officials, that's it. Like the official date started this past.
Physical information.
Yeah, and physical information. That's,
This was signups.
and then we do signups for all the out of district coaches. Most of the in-district coaches already get a beat on that, but anybody that contacts Mr. Dolph or myself,
Do you preview them at all or whatever goes home to the parents? Do they come through you or they just send them?
they just send.
They just send
Yeah,
them.
because they.
Nothing comes from our office, the administration.
Because I don't know what their practice schedule will be. Now, in-season practice, I have those. As to when, because I got to coordinate that, making sure if we're in the gyms, we got 2-hour time slots or on the field or anything like that. But as far as their preseason stuff, that all comes from the coach.
Okay.
And their availability.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Strong. Mr. Dahl,
All was well at the middle school.
what's that?
All was well at the middle school.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for all your input.
I know everything.
Say it again.
Mr. I Miller.
I asked him last time. Mr. I. Miller,
It's separate.
I get it. Thank you.
Just a couple of items. All the new student and staff iPads arrived last week. We're still waiting on the cases. I'm expecting those any day now. Once those cases come in, we'll start distribution of the new iPads to all the staff and students. Our goal is to have those done by the end of March. Contractors, I've had contractors working third shift at the high school for the past couple of weeks to run the wiring for the new paging system. All the wiring at the high school is complete. They are now starting on the middle school tonight. Again, they'll be working third shift, which is 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. The back boxes, which are the pieces that all the equipment gets installed in each room, they're in. Those installations at the high school will start next week. We're about 2 weeks behind on installation, but talking with D'Agostino, they think they can make the 2 weeks up on the programming end. So we should be done with the timeline we set forth when we started the project. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you. All right. This time, does any board members have anything to say?
I'd like to say something. Had an opportunity to go to see Center Grange, the construction work, and not knowing maybe what Mr. Zaritsky knows, and obviously the guy that's overseeing the whole deal there, I think they're doing a really nice job, the contractors. Would you say that, George?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think they're doing a really nice job there, and it's moving right along, and it's a nice, the rooms they're nice sized rooms. I mean, they're big, they're situations that are going to occur there, in the rooms and the specialties that we have. I think it's going to be a nice setup once it's all said and done. I'm anxious to see it when it is done, and I think you're doing a nice job overseeing the construction of it, and the guys are moving along, and I saw guys all hustling. Nobody was sitting there, taking breaks. Everybody was moving and getting the job done, And while I'm up here talking, I like to also the administration, hearing a lot of good things you guys are doing at your schools, and keep up the good work. And I'm hearing a lot of positive from feedback from different people, in all these buildings, So great job.
Thank you, Mr. Ross. Anybody else? Mr. Moed?
Just want to congratulate our divers, swimmers, wrestlers on their successes. It's great to see those programs experiencing the success they are. Also congratulate Ms. Damp on the musical, and it's great to see that they're doing the previews for the younger kids. Hopefully that'll continue to spur interest down the road. And then it's always great to hear about the updates from academic games. That's a great program that we have, and it's great to see the participation levels staying high for that. So.
Okay, thank you.
So,
Mr. Bloom?
Yeah, ditto to the comments on the musical. I mean, all the comments I heard here that night were very positive. They said it was a great job. Second of all, I'd like to commend administration and whoever did it, taking care of the lighting out on the steps of the school. Thank you very much. Made it very safe that night.
Mr. McCreary.
Thank you very much. It's very much appreciated.
Okay. Anybody else? Hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn? Oh, you, Marsh?
No.
No. He's talking to me.
Okay. Hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn? Mr. Zaritsky, seconded by Ms. Valcastro. Meeting adjourned.